By economic and financial data, gold led the export sector, bringing in $11.7 billion, almost double the $6.6 billion recorded in July 2024. Cocoa exports also saw a sharp rebound, rising to $2.4 billion from $915 million a year earlier. Oil, however, registered a decline, falling from $1.8 billion compared to $2.7 billion in the same period last year. On the import side, Ghana spent $11.7 billion by the end of August 2025, up from $10 billion last year. Oil imports accounted for $3.7 billion, a sharp decline from $10.2 billion in 2024, while non-oil imports increased to $8 billion, up from $7 billion in August 2024. These developments boosted Ghana's trade surplus, reaching $6.1 billion. Gross international reserves stood at $10.7 billion at the end of August, down from $11.1 billion in June. Despite seasonal pressures and moderating remittance inflows in recent weeks, the Bank of Ghana notes that the cedi remains one of the best performing currencies globally, appreciating by about 21% as of mid-September.
And that was a 3 Business News Desk report. Now to some more stories. Meanwhile, the Bank of Ghana data also revealed that Ghana's public debt stock rose by 15.8 billion cedis in July 2025 to 628.8 billion cedis. This is approximately 44.9% of gross domestic product GDP. In dollar terms, the public debt stood at $55.9 billion, higher than the $59.4 billion recorded in June 2025. Between March and June 2025, the country's public debt stock fell by 156.4 billion Ghana cedis. Now, away from that, the producer price inflation for August 2025 has fallen to 3%, the lowest in nearly 2 years. The Ghana Statistical Service attributes the sustained decline mainly to easing prices in the manufacturing sector. This report has more. We'll bring you that inset shortly, but the Chamber of Oil Marketing Companies, COMAC, says Ghanaians could soon see relief at the pumps as some of its members are in discussions with Nigeria's Dangote refinery to begin importing finished petroleum products. The move is expected to cut transportation costs and reduce delivery time, potentially lowering fuel prices for consumers. Speaking to 3 Business on the sidelines of the Pet Fund Games, COMAC Managing Director Gabriel Kumi, board chairman Gabriel Kumi, said oil marketing companies remain committed to safeguarding consumer interest and amid ongoing market pressures.
My intelligence even suggests that Dangote has invited some oil marketing companies from Ghana to have engagement with them and to see how we can partner with them to ensure that they bring some of their products into Ghana. So very soon you see a lot of collaboration with the Dangote refinery. I know of about 3 local companies who have been invited to Nigeria to have a serious engagement with them. So very soon I think we will see them coming into Ghana, and that will again help to reduce the cost of the product at the pump. For us, the consumer is our ultimate concern because they keep us in business. Without consumers, you have no business. So once the price of the product goes so high that the consumer is not able to afford, it directly affects impact on your business negatively.
So here the Gabriel Kumi, he's the board chair of the Chamber of Oil Marketing Companies, COMAC. Now, the Center for Environmental Management and Sustainable Energy, CEMSE, has welcomed plans by the Ghana National Petroleum Corporation, GNPC, and its subsidiary, Explorco, to drill 2 exploration wells by the 3rd quarter of 2026. Executive Director Benjamin Nsia says the move could open up the Voltarian Basin to foreign investment and reverse the decline in Ghana's oil production.
According to the Center for Environmental Management and Sustainable Energy, CEMSI, Ghana's decision to directly drill exploration wells is a signal to the global energy industry that the country is serious about expanding its upstream petroleum sector. The organization believes government's lead role could give international companies the confidence to invest in the sector, long considered a risky frontier.
I think over the years, because of the risky nature of these particular exploration, most foreign companies or international oil companies do not want to venture, and I think they've been waiting for government to initiate. So by third quarter 2026, if we are able to explore and especially appraise these wells and they become very commercially viable, I think that it will be an incentive to attract other foreign IOCs.
CEMSI maintains that if the new wells prove commercially viable, Ghana's petroleum revenues will strengthen while positioning the country as a competitive hub for exploration in West Africa.
That report was by my colleague Esinu Aja. Now to one of our top stories, and the producer price inflation for August 2025 has fallen to 3.0%, the lowest in nearly 2 years. The Ghana Statistical Service attributes the sustained decline mainly to easing prices in the manufacturing sector.
Ghana's year-on-year producer price inflation dropped to 3% in August 2025, down from 3.6% in July. This represents a 0.6 percentage point decline and marks the 7th consecutive month of easing prices at the factory gate. According to the Ghana Statistical Service, the August figure is the lowest recorded since November 2023, reflecting a slowdown in cost build-up for goods and services. On a month-on-month basis, producer inflation stood at 2.1%. The mining and quarrying sector, which carries the heaviest weight of 43.7%, saw a marginal increase from 4.6 to 4.9%. However, manufacturing, which contributes about 35% to the index, fell sharply from 3.2 to 1.6%, accounting for the bulk of the decline. Accommodation and food services also remained in negative territory, with inflation dropping further to minus 3.1%. The Statistical Service is urging businesses to capitalize on the lower inflation by cutting costs, boosting margins, and reinvesting in productivity. It further advised government to continue supporting industry with targeted tax reliefs and infrastructure investment, while households are encouraged to plan spending wisely and build reserves during this period of relative price stability.
And that was a 3 Business News Desk report revealing that Ghana's producer price inflation hit 3% in August 2025, the lowest since November 2023. And that'll be all for Business Daily here on 3FM 92.7. For more business stories, please visit our website at 3news.com/business. I am Michael Ogbodu. Thank you for listening. As always, please stay safe.